Constantine the Great burned 40 books, sparking intrigue and debate. This subchapter explores the mystery behind Constantine's actions, including theological controversies, religious persecution, and the history of book burning. Constantine's actions can be seen as a reflection of the historical context of religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome, and as a tool used by rulers to suppress dissent, maintain social order, and preserve the status quo. Constantine's actions can be seen as an attempt to distance Christianity from its pagan roots and establish a distinct theological framework. Furthermore, the suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity is an essential factor in understanding Constantine's actions. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine, and the Council of Nicaea greatly influenced the future of Christianity. Constantine's actions in burning 40 books are multifaceted, and his motivations are influenced by several factors, including religious persecution, pagan influences, and the suppression of Gnostic texts. Constantine the Great, also known as Flavius Valerius Constantinus, was the first Roman emperor to embrace Christianity. Theological controversies plagued early Christianity, and the Roman Empire was known for its tolerance of diverse religious beliefs, as long as they did not challenge the authority of the state. However, Christianity posed a threat to the traditional Roman religion and the political stability of the empire. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be overlooked, and the suppression of Gnostic texts was another important aspect of the historical background of Constantine. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine, established a centralized authority within the Church and defined Orthodox Christian doctrine. The role of religious authorities in determining canonical texts cannot be underestimated. Constantine played a significant role in this process. Constantine's book burning can be explained by examining the theological controversies, religious persecution, and pagan philosophy. Early Christian texts provide invaluable insights into the development of the faith and the challenges faced by early believers. These texts were crucial in shaping the theological controversies that arose within the early Christian community. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be understated. The Council of Nicaea played a pivotal role in shaping early Christian literature by determining which texts would be deemed canonical and which would be excluded. Understanding the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's book burning is crucial to comprehending its significance. It sheds light on the theological controversies, religious persecution, and censorship that occurred in ancient Rome, and contributes to the rich tapestry of early Christian literature. The burning of Constantine's 40 books is an enigmatic event that has left scholars, theologians, and history buffs alike with numerous unanswered questions. The answer lies in the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity. This subchapter explores the history of book burning and the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. It also examines the influence of Constantine and other key figures in determining the canonical texts of the New Testament. The 40 burned books, an enigma, explores the complex web of factors that led to Constantine's book burning and sheds light on the broader themes of religious persecution, censorship, and the manipulation of knowledge for political gain. Speculations and theories surround the burning of Constantine's 40 books, which may provide valuable insights into ancient Rome's theological controversies. One theory suggests that Constantine burned the books to suppress theological controversies in early Christianity and establish a unified Christian doctrine. The Roman Empire was known for its strict control over religious practices, and burning books may have been a means of maintaining social order and cultural control by eradicating ideas that challenge the dominant religious authority. Additionally, the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought is also a compelling factor. Constantine's actions in burning the 40 books could have been a strategic move to shape early Christian doctrine. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine, aimed to resolve theological controversies and establish a unified Christian doctrine. Understanding the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's book burning is crucial to understanding the early development of Christianity. Conspiracy theories have always fascinated the human mind, and this subchapter aims to delve into the truth behind Constantine's 40 burned books. One theory focuses on why Constantine burned 40 books. Some argue that he sought to suppress certain theological controversies, while others suggest that religious persecution and censorship played a significant role in Constantine's decision to burn these books. It is crucial to examine the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought, as well as the suppression of Gnostic texts. Constantine's book burning may have been an attempt to erase these influences and establish a purely Christian doctrine. To fully understand Constantine's actions, it is essential to consider the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine in 325 CE, was another critical event that impacted early Christian literature. This subchapter delves into the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's book burning. By exploring conspiracy theories, we can gain valuable insights into the development of early Christian literature and doctrine. In the subchapter of political motivations, we delve into the historical and political context behind Constantine's controversial act of burning 40 books. Constantine's book burning can be seen as a continuation of the Roman Empire's long history of suppressing dissenting religious beliefs. He sought to unify Christian teachings and maintain stability within the empire by destroying books that contradicted or threatened his vision of a unified Christian doctrine. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be overlooked, and Constantine's book burning can be seen as an attempt to distance Christianity from its pagan roots and establish it as a distinct and separate faith. The Roman Empire played an important role in shaping early Christian doctrine. Constantine's conversion to Christianity and subsequent support of the faith transformed Christianity into the state religion. Constantine's decision to burn 40 books can be seen as a calculated move to assert his authority, suppress dissenting voices, and establish a standardized Christian doctrine. Constantine's book burning was motivated by many factors, including theological controversies, religious persecution, history of book burning, and influence of pagan philosophy. In the subchapter Religious Controversies, we delve into the theological controversies, religious persecution, and censorship that occurred during ancient Rome. This subchapter examines the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's actions, including the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought, the suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity, and the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. This subchapter examines the events surrounding Constantine's book burning, and the controversies that continue to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books, uncovering the truth, offers readers a comprehensive understanding of the theological, political, and cultural complexities that shaped early Christianity. The primary question when discussing Constantine's book burning is, why did Constantine burn 40 books? By exploring the theological controversies in early Christianity and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought, we can shed light on the ideological clashes that underpinned Constantine's decision-making. In this subchapter, we aim to provide a comprehensive analysis of Constantine's burning of the 40 books and its lasting impact on early Christian literature and doctrine. In the subchapter titled Exploring Constantine's Mindset, we delve into the intriguing motivations and mindset of the enigmatic Emperor Constantine. The historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's book burning will shed light on the methods employed by ancient authorities to suppress dissenting voices and maintain social order, and readers will gain insights into the political motivations behind Constantine's book burning. The subchapter Exploring Constantine's Mindset explores a pivotal moment in history, shedding light on an often overlooked aspect of early Christianity and the Roman Empire. Constantine's burning of 40 books holds significant implications for the understanding of early Christianity. It sheds light on the historical context, theological controversies, religious persecution, and the suppression of certain texts that shaped the development of early Christian thought. The subchapter explores the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine, the impact of the Council of Nicaea on early Christian literature, and the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's book burning. The subchapter Possible Implications for Early Christianity explores the theological controversies, religious persecution, historical context, and political motivations that shaped early Christianity. In the subchapter titled Diversity of Beliefs and Teachings, we explore the multifaceted aspects of early Christianity, including the reasons behind Constantine's burning of 40 books and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. This subchapter examines the complex relationship between the Roman Empire and early Christianity, including the role of the empire in shaping Christian doctrine and the Council of Nicaea, one of the most significant events in early Christian history. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books explores the diversity of beliefs and teachings that shaped early Christianity and sheds light on a critical period in the history of Christianity. In the early years of Christianity, there were several major theological debates that shaped the development of the religion. A key debate in early Christianity was the influence of pagan philosophy on Christian thought. Another significant controversy was the suppression of Gnostic texts, which had profound implications for the formation of the biblical canon. The Roman Empire exerted significant influence over the development of Christianity, particularly under the rule of Emperor Constantine. Early Christian theology was shaped by debates about the nature of martyrdom and the role of suffering in the Christian life. Emperor Constantine's decision to burn 40 books is an important example of how political motivations can influence the suppression of certain ideas. The major theological debates in early Christianity reflected the tensions between different philosophical traditions, the suppression of alternative religious beliefs, and the influence of the Roman Empire. The Church Fathers played a crucial role in shaping the doctrines and beliefs of the early Christian Church. Their teachings and writings still resonate with believers today. The Church Fathers were a diverse group of theologians, bishops, and scholars who lived during the first few centuries of Christianity. Religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome posed significant challenges for early Christians, and the Church Fathers played a pivotal role in determining which texts were considered canonical and authoritative. Constantine's efforts to unify Christian teachings were motivated by both political and religious considerations. He burned 40 books that were deemed heretical. Constantine's book burning was a means of cultural control that aimed to eradicate conflicting ideologies and establish a single authoritative voice within the Christian Church. The Church Fathers played a vital role in shaping early Christian doctrines. Emperor Constantine's decision to burn 40 books has sparked much debate and speculation. This subchapter explores the historical context and political motivations behind his book burning. Constantine burned 40 books to suppress Gnostic texts and other works that deviated from the orthodox Christian teachings he sought to promote. His efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings were heavily influenced by his exposure to pagan philosophy. Constantine's influence on theological unity cannot be underestimated, and the burning of the 40 books can be seen as a manifestation of the power dynamics between the Roman Empire and religious authorities in shaping early Christian literature. The Council of Nicaea marked a turning point in the history of Christianity and its relationship with the Roman Empire. Emperor Constantine convened the Council of Nicaea to address the theological controversies that plagued the early Christian community. This led to the formulation of the Nicene Creed. The Council of Nicaea led to the suppression of Gnostic texts and highlighted the role of religious authorities in determining canonical texts. Constantine's decision to burn 40 books was likely driven by his desire to eliminate dissenting voices and establish his authority as the protector of the Christian faith. The Council of Nicaea unified and standardized Christian teachings, suppressed alternative interpretations of the faith, and solidified the role of religious authorities in determining canonical texts. Constantine the Great, the Roman emperor who is often credited with the conversion of the empire to Christianity, convened the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD to resolve theological disputes. This council resulted in the formulation of the Nicene Creed, a statement of faith that clarified the Christian beliefs regarding the nature of God. By bringing together religious authorities and encouraging open dialogue, Constantine helped establish a clear canon of Scripture and solidified the foundations of the faith. However, Constantine's actions were not solely motivated by religious concerns. Constantine's role in resolving theological disputes cannot be understated, but it is essential to consider the political motivations behind his actions and the broader historical context in which they occurred. Understanding the historical context of religious persecution is crucial to unraveling the mysteries behind notable events, such as Constantine's 40 burned books. During the early centuries of Christianity, theological controversies were rife, and the Roman Empire used religious persecution and censorship to maintain control. This environment set the stage for Constantine's actions. The burning of books has a long history as a means of cultural control. Constantine burned 40 books to eliminate theological controversies. Early Christian thinkers were deeply influenced by Greek philosophy, and the suppression of Gnostic texts contributed to the theological controversies. The Roman Empire had a profound influence on shaping early Christian doctrine. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine, played a pivotal role in establishing a unified creed and determining which texts would be considered canonical. Constantine's book burning was motivated by his desire to unify Christianity under his authority, suppress theological controversies, and establish a standardized doctrine. The Roman Empire had complex attitudes towards non-Roman religions, which played a significant role in shaping the early Christian landscape. The Roman Empire, known for its diverse and eclectic culture, encompassed a vast array of religious practices. However, the Romans exhibited a relatively tolerant approach towards non-Roman religions, and sometimes resorted to censorship and suppression of religious texts. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be overlooked. As Christianity began to gain prominence, tensions arose between those who sought to preserve the traditional Roman religious practices and those advocating for the new faith. Constantine, the first Christian emperor, played a pivotal role in the history of early Christianity, settling key theological disputes and establishing orthodox Christian beliefs. Constantine burned 40 books to consolidate his power and establish Christianity as the state religion. This act can be seen as a reflection of the historical context and his efforts to unify and control Christian teachings. Constantine's 40 burned books raises questions about the methods used to censor and suppress certain ideas and beliefs during this tumultuous period in history. The Roman Empire burned Constantine's 40 books as a way to censor and suppress ideas that were deemed heretical or contradictory to the emerging Christian doctrine. Religious persecution and censorship were not uncommon in ancient Rome, especially during the early years of Christianity. The Roman Empire sought to unify and standardize Christian teachings, leading to the suppression of certain texts that deviated from the accepted narrative. Constantine's book burning sheds light on the complex dynamics between religion, politics, and power. The burning of books, religious persecution, the influence of pagan philosophy, and the role of religious authorities all played a significant role in shaping early Christian doctrine. In ancient Rome, religious tolerance and intolerance played a significant role. We will explore the historical context and motivations behind Constantine's burning of 40 books. The Roman Empire was a diverse and multicultural society, with many different religious beliefs and practices. Emperors periodically cracked down on religious groups that challenged their authority or threatened social stability, and book burning was one such method. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be ignored. It sparked theological controversies that often led to persecution and censorship. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on secret knowledge and spiritual enlightenment, challenged the orthodox Christian doctrines being developed during this period. Constantine the Great sought to unify and standardize Christian teachings and to consolidate his power. The Council of Nicaea played a crucial role in this process. This subchapter provides a comprehensive overview of religious tolerance and intolerance in ancient Rome, focusing on the theological controversies, religious persecution, and censorship that shaped early Christianity. Constantine's policies on religious freedom had far-reaching implications and continue to shape the religious landscape to this day. Constantine burned 40 books, and the historical context and political motivations behind this act can be understood. Constantine introduced a new era of religious freedom in ancient Rome, but this was not without its controversies. Constantine's efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine. His policies sought to reconcile pagan philosophy with Christian teachings. Constantine's policies on religious freedom had a lasting impact on early Christianity, and his efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings continue to shape religious discourse. The relationship between censorship and book burning will be examined in detail, including the various factors that led to Constantine's decision and its broader implications. Constantine burned 40 books to establish a unified doctrine in early Christianity. His actions can be seen as a continuation of the Roman Empire's history of suppressing dissenting religious movements and consolidating his power and control over the religious narrative. Constantine's decision to suppress Gnostic texts can be seen as an effort to distance Christianity from its pagan roots. The Roman Empire played a pivotal role in shaping early Christian doctrine. Constantine's conversion to Christianity and subsequent efforts to establish a unified Christian faith were deeply intertwined with political motivations. To fully understand Constantine's book burning, we must examine the historical context and political motivations behind it. This allows us to gain valuable insights into censorship. Book burning has been used as a means of cultural control since ancient times, and the mystery surrounding Constantine's 40 burned books can be traced back to this practice. Constantine, the first Christian emperor of Rome, burned 40 books related to early Christianity. He may have viewed them as sources of theological division and discord, and burned them to suppress dissenting voices. The Roman Empire, with its hierarchical structure and centralized authority, played an important role in shaping early Christian doctrine. Constantine's decision to burn books may have been influenced by the desire to maintain political and social stability and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. Constantine's book burning was influenced by theological controversies, religious persecution, and political motivations in ancient Rome. It helped to unify and standardize Christian teachings. In ancient civilizations, book burning was a common practice. Constantine the Great burned 40 books during his reign, and this event has been the subject of much debate. Constantine sought to reconcile the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity by burning certain books and suppressing teachings that deviated from the emerging Orthodox Christian beliefs. In ancient Rome, religious persecution and censorship were not uncommon. The burning of books was a powerful tool used by the Roman authorities to control the dissemination of ideas that were deemed heretical or subversive. The suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity can be seen as part of a broader campaign to consolidate the Christian Church. The burning of books at the Council of Nicaea solidified the decisions made at this council and promoted a unified Christian doctrine. Constantine the Great's book burning was a complex and multifaceted event driven by theological controversies, religious persecution, political motivations, and the desire to shape the emerging Christian faith. In the subchapter titled Book Burnings in Ancient Rome, we explore the mystery surrounding Constantine's burning of 40 books and aim to uncover the truth behind this enigmatic act. Constantine burned 40 books to suppress Gnostic teachings and create a unified Christian doctrine. His conversion to Christianity and subsequent efforts to unify the religion were deeply intertwined with political motivations, and the Council of Nicaea had a significant influence on early Christian literature. We aim to shed light on the historical context, political motivations, and theological controversies surrounding Constantine's burning of books. In the intriguing subchapter titled The Symbolism of Burning Books, we delve into the multifaceted layers of meaning behind Constantine's act of burning 40 books. We examine the historical, religious, and political implications of this symbolic act, shedding light on the question, why did Constantine burn 40 books? As we examine the history of book burning as a means of cultural control, we gain deeper insights into the manipulation of religious discourse for political ends. The Symbolism of Burning Books explores the historical, religious, and political dimensions of Constantine's act of burning books and its lasting effects on the development of Christian thought. In this subchapter, we discuss why Constantine burned 40 books, the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought, the suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity, the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine, and more. Our exploration begins with the enigma surrounding Constantine's decision to burn 40 books, and then moves on to analyze the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought and the subsequent suppression of Gnostic texts. This subchapter provides a multifaceted analysis of book burning as a tool of cultural control, specifically focusing on Constantine's 40 burned books. It unravels the historical, theological, and political dimensions of this event. Constantine's burning of 40 books had a profound impact on society, and this subchapter will explore the repercussions and consequences of such acts. Constantine's book burnings provide valuable insights into the theological controversies in early Christianity, as well as the issue of religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome. Moreover, the impact of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be overlooked. This subchapter will examine how the Roman Empire shaped early Christian doctrine and how Constantine's efforts to unify Christian teachings were influenced by political and religious factors. This subchapter explores the impact of Constantine's book burning on early Christian literature, as well as the impact of book burnings on society as a whole. The most well-known philosophical schools were the Academy, founded by Plato in Athens, the Stoics, and the Epicureans. Early Christians were attracted to the teachings of the Academy and the Stoics, but rejected the hedonistic aspects of the Epicurean school. Early Christians found themselves engaging with pagan philosophy and incorporating elements of it into their own religious beliefs. As Christianity gained political power, theological controversies arose, and religious persecution became a tool of the Roman Empire to maintain control and unity. The pagan philosophical schools of the ancient world exerted a profound influence on early Christian thought, but as Christianity gained political power, theological controversies arose, leading to religious persecution and the suppression of certain texts. A fascinating intellectual exchange took place between pagan philosophers and the followers of the burgeoning faith in the early Christian era. This exchange led to profound questions about the nature of God, the purpose of life, and the meaning of existence. Early Christian thought was shaped by the intellectual exchange between pagan philosophers and early Christians. The Roman Empire played a pivotal role in shaping early Christian doctrine and establishing the canonical texts, as well as the role of religious authorities in determining religious doctrine. This subchapter aims to shed light on the controversial topic of the incorporation of pagan ideas into Christian theology. The early centuries of Christianity in ancient Rome were marked by theological controversies, religious persecution, and censorship. The Roman authorities often resorted to suppressing dissenting ideas, including the burning of books. Early Christian thought was influenced by pagan philosophy, theological controversies, religious persecution, the history of book burning as a means of cultural control, the suppression of Gnostic texts, and the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. In the subchapter titled Conflicts Between Pagan Philosophy and Christian Doctrine, we explore the theological controversies that shaped early Christianity and the historical context surrounding Constantine's enigmatic act of burning 40 books. Throughout the early years of Christianity, there existed a complex interplay between pagan philosophy and Christian doctrine. Gnostic texts were suppressed by religious authorities because they offered alternative interpretations of Christian teachings. The Roman Empire's influence on Christianity was profound, and emperors like Constantine sought to unify and standardize Christian teachings. This subchapter explores the historical context and political motivations that underpin Constantine's actions, and the history of book burning as a means of cultural control. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books, uncovering the truth, explores the conflicts between pagan philosophy and Christian doctrine. The chapter titled Constantine's Views on Pagan Philosophy explores the historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's burning of 40 books. Constantine, the first Christian emperor of Rome, tried to reconcile pagan philosophy with Christian doctrine, but some philosophical ideas were deemed incompatible with the emerging orthodoxy. This subchapter explores the suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity, and the history of book burning as a means of cultural control. It also sheds light on Constantine's role in determining canonical texts, and the theological controversies, religious persecution, and censorship that characterized early Christianity. Constantine's burning of 40 books has raised many questions and sparked much curiosity. In this subchapter, we uncover the truth behind this fateful decision. To understand the significance of this event, one must first understand the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity. The suppression of pagan philosophical texts and the suppression of Gnostic texts shed light on Constantine's motivations. The Roman Empire played a pivotal role in shaping early Christian doctrine, and the Council of Nicaea stands as a testament to this. The burning of the 40 books was an act driven by the desire to establish religious authority. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books is a window into a crucial moment in the history of Christianity. Gnosticism is an ancient religious movement that emerged during the first few centuries of the Common Era. This chapter explores the beliefs, texts, and suppression of Gnosticism by early Christian authorities. Gnosticism was a diverse and complex movement that encompassed a variety of beliefs and practices. The emergence of Gnosticism posed a challenge to the early Christian Church, which was striving for unity and orthodoxy, and ultimately led to the suppression of Gnostic texts and the exclusion of Gnostic beliefs from the canon. This chapter explores the history of book burning in ancient Rome and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books examines the theological controversies, political motivations, and historical context surrounding Constantine's actions. The Gnostic beliefs threatened to disrupt the unity and coherence of the Christian community, prompting the rejection and suppression of their texts. Gnosticism was a complex and diverse movement that emerged in the 1st and 2nd centuries. Its core idea was that salvation came through secret knowledge, gnosis, rather than faith in Jesus Christ, and that the material world was inherently evil. Emperor Constantine used the Council of Nicaea to establish a unified understanding of Christian doctrine and combat the growing influence of heretical beliefs, including Gnosticism. He burned 40 books to suppress and destroy Gnostic texts, which was part of a broader history of book burning. The early Christian rejection of Gnostic beliefs was driven by a combination of theological, political, and social factors. Emperor Constantine's book burning was a theological act but also a political act. Early Christian Gnostic texts played an important role in shaping the emerging religious doctrine, but were suppressed by religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome. Constantine's act of burning 40 books has been the subject of much speculation and debate. Early Christianity was affected by pagan philosophy, and religious authorities sought to eliminate alternative interpretations of Christian doctrine. The Roman Empire played a pivotal role in shaping early Christian doctrine. The Council of Nicaea, where crucial decisions were made regarding the canon of Scripture, highlighted the role of religious authorities in shaping the early Christian movement. The suppression of Gnostic texts, the role of the Roman Empire, and the political motivations behind Constantine's book burning shed light on the formation of early Christian doctrine. Constantine the Great burned 40 books, which has puzzled historians and theologians for centuries. This subchapter aims to shed light on Constantine's stance on Gnostic literature. Gnosticism, a mystical and esoteric branch of early Christianity, posed a significant theological challenge to the emerging orthodoxy. In an effort to maintain control and ensure the dominance of the emerging Orthodox teachings, Constantine ordered the burning of 40 Gnostic books. Constantine's actions can be seen as a result of his efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings and maintain control over the religious landscape of the Roman Empire. His burning of 40 books was a calculated act of religious censorship and cultural control. In the subchapter Gnosticism and the Council of Nicaea, we explore the historical context and political motivations behind Emperor Constantine's burning of 40 books. Constantine's decision to burn these books is important to understand the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine, sought to establish a unified Christian doctrine. Constantine, as Roman emperor, sought to standardize Christian teachings to ensure stability and control. He suppressed Gnostic texts, which presented alternative perspectives on Jesus' teachings. Constantine's actions in burning Gnostic texts are an example of how books have been burned as a means of cultural control. In this subchapter, we explore the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought, the Roman Empire, and early Christian literature. In this chapter, we will examine the relationship between the Roman Empire and religious beliefs during the early Christian era. In this subchapter, we explore how the Roman Empire shaped early Christian doctrine and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. We also explore how the Roman Empire sought to unify and standardize Christian teachings and the influence of Gnostic texts on early Christian literature. The role of religious authorities in determining canonical texts is examined, as well as the theological controversies that arose during this era. This subchapter explores the complex relationship between the Roman Empire and religious beliefs during the formative years of Christianity. In the tumultuous era of ancient Rome, a Roman emperor experienced a remarkable vision on the eve of a decisive battle. Inspired by this divine message, Constantine emerged victorious in battle and attributed his success to the Christian God. Constantine's conversion to Christianity was not without controversy, as different theologians sought to shape and define the doctrines of their newfound faith. Constantine's vision and subsequent conversion had far-reaching implications for religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome. The burning of 40 books deemed heretical or contradictory to the emerging Christian doctrine further demonstrates the influence of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. To understand Constantine's vision and conversion, we must examine the historical context and political motivations behind his actions. By uncovering the truth behind these events, we can gain valuable insight into the development of Christianity and its relationship with the Roman Empire. This subchapter explores the Roman Empire's role in shaping early Christian doctrine by exploring theological controversies, religious persecution, the history of book burning, and the influence of pagan philosophy. Constantine burned books to address theological controversies in early Christianity. He also burned books to suppress Gnostic texts, which were seen as heretical and incompatible with Roman religious beliefs. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine, and the Council of Nicaea played a significant role in determining the canonical texts. By examining theological controversies, religious persecution, the history of book burning, the influence of pagan philosophy, and the Council of Nicaea, readers can gain valuable insights. The early centuries of Christianity were characterized by numerous theological controversies. Constantine, who converted to Christianity and played a pivotal role in its establishment as the state religion, recognized the need for a unified doctrine and convened the Council of Nicaea to resolve key theological disputes. Constantine took other measures to unify Christian teachings, including commissioning Eusebius of Caesarea to create 50 copies of the Bible. Constantine's efforts to unify Christian teachings had a profound and lasting impact on the development of early Christianity. His actions helped to stabilize and strengthen the Christian faith, ensuring its survival and eventual dominance in the Roman Empire and beyond. The Roman Empire exerted immense influence over the development of Christian doctrine, which is explored in the subchapter on Constantine's 40 burned books. Religious controversies were rampant in early Christianity, and Constantine burned 40 books to establish a single, authoritative Christian doctrine. In ancient Rome, the burning of books was a common tool used by the state to maintain control over the population. The Roman state had a significant influence on early Christian thought, and played a crucial role in determining canonical texts. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine, further solidified the role of the Roman state in shaping early Christian literature. The Roman state played a pivotal role in defining orthodoxy in early Christianity. Constantine's 40 burned books were part of an effort to unify and standardize Christian teachings. The early years of Christianity were marked by theological controversies and religious persecution, which ultimately led to the fragmentation of the faith. Early Christianity was rife with theological controversies, which often led to schisms within the Christian community. In ancient Rome, Christianity was subject to persecution and censorship. The authorities destroyed Christian texts to suppress the spread of the faith and maintain control over society. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought further complicated the theological landscape and led to further divisions and conflicts among the faithful. The suppression of Gnostic texts also contributed to the fragmentation of the faith. The Roman Empire, under Constantine's rule, sought to unify and standardize Christian teachings. The Council of Nicaea resolved theological disputes and established a unified Christian belief system, which influenced early Christian literature and the formation of the biblical canon. To fully understand Constantine's burning of 40 books, we must consider the historical context and political climate of the time, as well as his efforts to unify Christian teachings, the Council of Nicaea, and the role of religious authorities. In the tumultuous era of early Christianity, Constantine the Great emerged as a pivotal figure. He sought to unify the Christian community and establish a singular religious authority that would help control and regulate religious practices within the empire. The history of book burning as a means of cultural control cannot be overlooked. Constantine burned 40 books to maintain control over the emerging faith. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought was important to acknowledge, as well as Constantine's efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings. Constantine's motivations for burning the 40 books can be understood within the historical context and political motivations that surrounded the significant event. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Emperor Constantine in 325 AD, resolved theological disputes and established a common understanding of Christian doctrine. Its discussions and debates led to the formulation of the Nicene Creed, a concise statement of faith that affirmed the belief in the Trinity and the divinity of Christ. The Nicene Creed was not merely a theological gathering, it was also a political event. The Council of Nicaea was not without its controversies and conflicts, but the creed did play a pivotal role in shaping early Christian theology and literature. Constantine's 40 burned books, uncovering the truth, delves deep into the various oppositions faced by Constantine in his relentless efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings. Theological controversies plagued early Christianity, and many factions and individual scholars resisted Constantine's attempt to establish a singular orthodox doctrine. Religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome also played a role in fueling opposition to Constantine's endeavors. The history of book burning as a means of cultural control added another layer of opposition to Constantine's actions. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be ignored. Constantine's efforts to unify and standardize Christian teachings were met with resistance. The burning of 40 books was seen as an attempt to eliminate dissenting voices and consolidate power within the Orthodox Christian hierarchy. The Roman Empire had a considerable influence on the development of Christianity, and Constantine's burning of the 40 books was seen as a strategic move to eliminate potential rivals. The Council of Nicaea had an impact on early Christian literature, and the power of religious authorities to decide which texts were considered sacred fueled opposition against Constantine's unification efforts. Constantine's book burning was a result of opposition from individuals from all walks of life. Constantine the Great's decision to burn 40 books has sparked debates and speculation among scholars and historians. It raises questions about the motivations behind this act and the implications it had for the Christian tradition. This subchapter aims to explore the impact of Constantine's actions on Christianity by analyzing the historical context and political motivations behind his book burning. It will also shed light on the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought and the suppression of Gnostic texts in early Christianity. The Council of Nicaea was a pivotal event in the history of early Christianity and the Roman Empire, and its purpose is crucial for understanding Constantine's decision to burn 40 books. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Emperor Constantine, aimed to unify Christian teachings and establish a standard doctrine. The Council of Nicaea was a gathering of bishops, priests, and theologians from various regions of the Roman Empire. They debated the nature of Christ, the relationship between Father and Son, and the role of the Holy Spirit. Constantine's decision to burn 40 books must be understood within the historical context of the Roman Empire and the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. The Council of Nicaea had a lasting impact on early Christian literature and the formation of the biblical canon. The Council of Nicaea was a critical event in early Christian history, addressing theological controversies and shaping the future direction of the faith. It also highlights the broader themes of religious persecution, censorship, and pagan philosophy. The mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books is unraveled in the highly anticipated subchapter titled Debates and Decisions at the Council. The book explores the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity, uncovers the religious persecution and censorship prevalent in ancient Rome, and uncovers the suppression of Gnostic texts. The Council of Nicaea had a significant impact on early Christian literature, and Constantine's book burning was a result of complex power dynamics and societal pressures. The Council of Nicaea was a significant event in religious history that shaped the religious landscape and the subsequent impact on early Christian literature. The Nicene Creed is a cornerstone of Christian faith. In this subchapter, we will explore the events that led to its formulation. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Emperor Constantine in 325 AD, settled the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity and raised questions about the suppression of alternative beliefs and the role of the Roman Empire in shaping early Christian doctrine. Constantine's desire to unify and standardize Christian teachings led to the Council of Nicaea, where the bishops debated fiercely and produced the Nicene Creed, a concise statement of Christian belief. The Nicene Creed was created by Constantine to unite his empire under a single religious banner. We will explore the creation of the Nicene Creed, the role of religious authorities in determining canonical texts, and the broader history of book burning as a means of cultural control. Constantine's mysterious act of burning 40 books cannot be ignored in the quest to uncover the truth behind the Council's decisions to establish a unified set of teachings in early Christianity. In ancient Rome, books were burned to suppress ideas that were deemed heretical or incompatible with the emerging Orthodox Christian doctrine. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought cannot be overlooked, but the Council sought to distance Christianity from its pagan roots. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine, and the Council of Nicaea, convened by Constantine himself, played a crucial role in defining orthodoxy and establishing a common creed. The decisions made at the Council had far-reaching implications for the development of early Christian literature. The Council of Nicaea, held in 325 AD, marked a significant turning point in the history of early Christian literature. The Council of Nicaea was organized by Constantine to unify Christian teachings and solidify Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. However, the process of determining canonical texts also led to the suppression of certain texts, particularly those considered as Gnostic. The Council of Nicaea's influence on early Christian literature can be seen in the context of religious persecution and censorship in ancient Rome. Constantine's book burning is a mystery to this day, but it highlights the power dynamics at play. Early Christian texts played a crucial role in shaping the faith and its doctrines, but not all texts were treated equally. This subchapter delves into the intriguing world of early Christian texts and the diverse treatment they received. The Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping early Christian doctrine. Constantine and the Council of Nicaea played a pivotal role in determining which texts were considered canonical and which were deemed heretical. Constantine's book burning can be explained by the historical context and political motivations behind it. By exploring these topics, we can shed light on the mystery of Constantine's 40 burned books. The early years of Christianity were characterized by a wide range of theological beliefs and practices, which led to controversies and disputes. The Council of Nicaea was a key turning point in the history of Christianity, where the canon was established. This collection of authoritative texts would form the basis of Christian doctrine. The process of determining the canon was not without controversy. Certain texts, particularly those associated with Gnosticism, were excluded from the canon, and the burning of Constantine's 40 books was one such act of censorship. Constantine's book burning was a complex process influenced by theological controversies, religious persecution, political motivations, and the influence of pagan philosophy. It played a significant role in shaping early Christian doctrine. Influential figures have played a significant role in the canonization process, including Constantine the Great, who burned 40 books. This subchapter will explore the motivations behind Constantine's actions and the historical context that surrounded this controversial event. Religious authorities and the Roman Empire played a crucial role in determining the early Christian canon. The suppression of Gnostic texts was a result of the Roman Empire's efforts to consolidate power and maintain control over religious thought. Pagan philosophy had a profound impact on early Christian thought, and influenced the selection and exclusion of certain texts in the canon. The Council of Nicaea was a pivotal moment in early Christian history, laying the foundation for the formation of the Nicene Creed and establishing the Orthodox doctrine. This subchapter will explore the impact of this council on early Christian literature. The criteria for inclusion and exclusion of texts is an important aspect of understanding the historical context and motivations behind Constantine's burning of 40 books. Early Christianity's canon was shaped by theological controversies and the need to combat heresies. Gnostic texts were suppressed because they deviated from mainstream Christian beliefs. The Roman Empire exerted a profound influence on early Christian doctrine, and the inclusion of texts that aligned with the Roman Empire's religious and political agenda was highlighted by the exclusion of texts that contradicted it. Constantine's book burning was a reflection of the broader religious persecution and censorship practices of the time. The historical context and political motivations behind Constantine's actions help shed light on the broader implications and consequences of Constantine's decisions. Constantine the Great's involvement in the canonization process is shrouded in mystery and controversy. This subchapter aims to shed light on his actions. Constantine played a role in the canonization process to create a cohesive and unified Christian doctrine that would serve as a unifying force for the empire. In ancient Rome, religious persecution and censorship were prevalent. Constantine sought to put an end to these practices by establishing a canon of authoritative texts. Constantine's burning of 40 books can be seen as a way to control the dissemination of ideas that were deemed heretical. The influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought is another crucial aspect to consider. Constantine's involvement in the canonization process was motivated by a desire to unify his empire under a standardized set of Christian beliefs, put an end to religious persecution, and establish control over the dissemination of ideas. Constantine's reign was marked by significant events and controversies that shaped the trajectory of early Christianity. Understanding the political context of Constantine's reign is crucial to understanding his book burning. The ongoing theological controversies in early Christianity caused unrest and challenged the authority of the Roman Empire. Religious persecution and censorship were also prevalent in ancient Rome, and Constantine's decision to burn 40 books can be seen as a part of this broader pattern of religious persecution and censorship. The Roman Empire played an important role in shaping early Christian doctrine, and Constantine's reign marked a turning point in the history of Christianity. By burning books, Constantine aimed to consolidate his power and establish a unified religious framework for the empire. Constantine's relationship with Christianity was complex, characterized by both support and controversy. One of the most intriguing questions surrounding Constantine's reign is why he burned 40 books. By exploring the history of book burning as a means of cultural control, we can better understand Constantine's decision and its implications for religious freedom. To fully understand Constantine's relationship with Christianity, we must also examine the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought. Constantine's relationship with Christianity was complex and multifaceted, and by exploring the various themes outlined in this subchapter, we can gain a deeper understanding of the emperor's motivations and the impact of his actions on the development of early Christianity. Theological controversies played a significant role in shaping the actions of Emperor Constantine, including his decision to burn 40 books. Early Christianity was marked by a myriad of theological debates, and Constantine burned 40 books to establish unity and suppress dissenting voices. He also sought to establish Christianity as the dominant religion of the empire. Constantine suppressed Gnostic texts and established a centralized authority over Christianity by burning Gnostic texts and favoring certain canonical texts. This shaped early Christian literature and doctrine. Theological debates in early Christianity had a significant impact on Constantine's decision to burn 40 books. Understanding these debates is crucial to unraveling the mystery of Constantine's book burning. Throughout history, book burning has been used to consolidate power. Constantine's burning of 40 books is a notable example of this. Constantine's decision to burn 40 books raises intriguing questions about the motivations behind this act. It can be seen as an extension of the broader pattern of religious persecution in ancient Rome. The history of book burning as a means of cultural control is fascinating to explore. Constantine's book burning highlights the influence of pagan philosophy on early Christian thought and the complex relationship between state power and religious authority. Constantine's burning of 40 books is an enigmatic event that demands thorough exploration. This subchapter aims to provide a comprehensive analysis of book burning as a means of control. Emperor Constantine's decision to burn 40 books is one of the most enigmatic aspects of his reign. This subchapter explores the theological controversies, religious persecution, and political motivations that may have influenced his decision. To understand Constantine's book burning, it is crucial to examine the theological controversies that plagued early Christianity. Constantine may have burned books to eradicate certain beliefs or texts that ran counter to his vision of a unified Christianity. Constantine's book burning may have been motivated by a desire to distance Christianity from its pagan roots and to assert his authority over the development of Christian doctrine. Constantine's book burning can be seen as part of his efforts to establish a standardized and unified Christian faith within the Roman Empire. Constantine's decision to burn 40 books within historical context reveals a complex tapestry of theological controversies, religious persecution, political motivations, and the suppression of alternative texts. In this book, we have delved deep into the fascinating and complex world of Constantine the Great, the first Christian Roman emperor, and unveiled the truth behind the burning of 40 books. Gnostic texts posed a threat to the emerging orthodoxy, and were destroyed by Constantine in order to unify and standardize Christian teachings. Constantine's involvement in the Council of Nicaea played a pivotal role in establishing early Christian doctrine and in determining which texts would be considered canonical and which would be discarded. This further underscores the political motivations behind Constantine's book burning. The burning of Constantine's 40 books was a significant moment in the history of early Christianity. It was a deliberate act aimed at consolidating power, suppressing alternative interpretations, and shaping the trajectory of Christian doctrine.